Welcome back to Slingshot Disc Golf. It is 2025 and you are about to go on a form journey, or maybe you're on your fifth year of this form journey. Either way, it's 2025. I'm sure a lot of you are like, it's the new year, it's time to work on my form. Well, I believe that this right here is the most important video for you to watch before you start working on your form for the next year. I truly believe at the bottom of my heart that this is such an important video for you to watch. I don't even care if you never watch another one of my videos again, but before you start learning backhand or trying to reinvent your backhand, I mean, we all know what you're going to do. You're going to learn on YouTube. This video is going to clear up a few things about disc golf instruction before you go down that path. And yes, it has to do with the back leg and the front leg, but it's also a really cool story. I'm about to show you a student who went from 460 to 530 after one form review. I gave him one form review, but here's the thing, this student was stuck at 460 for 4 years. And we're about to show you the difference between what every coach out there coaches, front leg, and what I'm coaching. In fact, this video actually validates front leg disc golf. It shows that you can still throw really far with the front leg, but you cannot reach your full potential without the back leg. So let's get into it. All right, so this is Joe V Disc Golf. This is his YouTube channel. Go subscribe for sure. He even made a video on how to sling the disc, make your backhand throw athletic. Anyways, 4 years ago, I came across this channel when I first uploaded my channel. And I saw this video right here, 3 distance tips, 460 feet. I remember clicking on the video and going straight to his form, right? Because I figure he's a YouTube coach. He's throwing 460 feet. Who is this guy? Is this competition? Because at the time there was no coaches that could actually throw far. I remember when I uploaded my channel, I was like, oh, there's no coaches that can throw far. I wonder why. But then this guy had his channel on there, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So I went to look at his form. He's throwing 460 feet, and he's only like 5'8". He had some science videos on here too. Immediately, the first thing I see is the back leg is already slipping before the front leg even touches. And it just slips, counterweights behind him. When the back leg swoops up against the front leg like that, that is not something you ever want to see. You won't see Paul McBeth do that. You won't see, top level pros do that. That is a front leg, kind of a floppy back leg thing that happens when you do the front leg technique. Here's a behind view of him from the same video. Back leg just slips, flops behind him in a position right here that you don't see Paul McBeth do. You don't see that position. And then it just flips around. So one thing I want to say is for the front leg form, and I thought this at the time, I thought this is really good. It looks really good. This is front leg disc golf, and this is what you're going to find on every single YouTube channel, almost every single YouTube channel, because now Joe V is coaching it. We're going to show his new form in a minute, and he's coaching, so we got 2 slingshot coaches out there right now. Well, 3 if you count Colo. We're going to get him rolling too. But ultimately, he had really good front leg form, and he's throwing 460 feet. When I was throwing with similar type form, I could only throw 300 feet. That was the main reason why I had to figure it out, because I'm a college basketball player. I'm 5'11". There's no way I'm 300 feet behind Paul McBeth. It just didn't make sense to me. Turns out I could throw 550 feet with the back leg. Can't really do that anymore. I'm an old guy now. But ultimately, I wanted to get a hold of Joe V right away, because this isn't about form. This is about an athlete who has so much more. Like, this guy's throwing 460. He can throw so much farther. And it's not even funny. And he's so athletic. And I just wanted to get a hold of him so that I could, at least talk to him. But at the time, I had just uploaded my channel, and I was not very confident. I hadn't even coached anyone yet, so I wasn't going to go just start trying to find people and say, hey, man, I need to change your form. So I never said anything. And coincidentally, 3.5 years later, just a couple months ago, I have no idea the timing on any of this, but he just tagged me in an Instagram post saying something about the back leg. Like, I'm working on back leg disc golf, and I saw his form, and it looked exactly the same. So that's 4 years later, and it looks exactly the same. And when I talk to him, he's still throwing 460 max, and he's like 22 now. I think he was like, what, 18 here? And it was interesting. I jumped on it right away. I got a hold of him. We got on a one-on-one call. It's probably the most excited I've been. I've worked with some professional disc golfers. I was more excited to work with Joe V just because of this kind of story here. And I gave him one form review. One. And usually when I work with people who are on the front leg and they go to the back leg, they gain distance over time. And a lot of them don't. Sometimes it's my coaching. Most of the time the back leg is just too hard to develop. It's just so much easier on the front leg. That's why everybody does it that way. You have to be built different to truly develop your back leg. The guy threw 530 in like 7 days. He reported back through 530. He wasn't even really turning his back leg. He was just using it, pushing with it. So here's a side view. Now he's still just figuring this out, right? Like he's developing his back leg. It takes time to develop even when you're using it. I mean, he's thrown well over 500. I'm pretty sure he's thrown 550. But it's a work in progress, especially with the rotational element of the back leg. But let's look at this right here. I feel bad for that net. All right. Good balance and drift. There's a lot of other things he's working on. He's already pushing with the back leg. You can see that back leg drive right there. And then you don't see the leg flop behind him. He's not getting like a super crazy amount of internal rotation with the back leg, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that you do enough to get the power from the back leg, the ground force from back here, right? So if we just look at the old Joe V, especially at the point of just like release right there. Joe V had a lot more athleticism to unlock. He's an athletic guy. And now he's unlocked it. So he sent me this today, or yesterday. I don't know, all the days run together. Loaded position, back leg drive through the magic position. And that's an acceptable L shape for sure. I mean, not many people have that kind of internal rotational ability. I don't. But the point is you see the drive there. You see the use of it, right? I mean, that matches up pretty good, especially the rotation. So much body rotation there. So basically, so why do I say this is such an important video? It's because every single disc golf coach on the internet is going to tell you to use your back leg as a counterweight and to not drive with it or whatever. I mean, we all know what I'm talking about. And I don't care. I'd like to be last. Go to every pro, go to every coach on the internet first, please do. And if it doesn't work, that's what I'm here for, because I'm telling you, you have to be built different to use the back leg. You really do. It's hard. It's hard to develop the back leg. And, you know, when we look at my students who have the best form, like Cola matches up with Macbeth well, Joe V matches up with Macbeth well, you know, looking back, Preston, a bunch of others, they had a certain level of obsession and drive to want to do it that way, because it takes a lot of physical kind of pain to get through and develop the back leg. You're developing kind of, you know, and coordination too, right? It's just hard to do. You're playing baseball left-handed. But ultimately, this proves that you can throw really far with the front leg technique, even though I would argue that when you're throwing with the front leg technique, you're just throwing mainly with your arm. And some people can do it. Usually there's athletic advantages, maybe tall or really strong or just explosive in general. But most of us, like myself, you're not going to be able to unleash your athleticism And if you are 6'4" and you can throw really, really far, well, think about how much farther you would throw. Because at the end of the day, it's not about throwing far, it's about throwing good. We're trying to throw good. Get good at it. If you don't match up with Macbeth, then there's another level, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be Macbeth, because I know that the off arm is such a major thing there. But if you delete the off arm, then Macbeth, Simon, Eagle, they all have similar things going on except for that off arm. So you want to throw like them, and your back leg needs to look like them. And then how about Gannon? He's the new age guy, right? Look at his back leg. It's really internally driven. So this one, his back leg was probably his best internal drive yet. And this went 73 on the tech disc. The purpose of this video is for you to decide what you really want. Do you want to throw farther, or do you want to throw really, really good? Do you want to go on the front leg? Do you want to use the back leg? It's really up to you. But before you go on a year-long form journey and you're watching all these videos on YouTube, just understand that that back leg, it's the key to everything. It really is. Real quick, if you want a form review, head to slingshotdiscgolf.com, because I have a new form review package where I'll make you a 10-minute form review, and you can join our community, Slingshot Community. All right. And as always, slingshots for everybody.